Shirt has.
I mean, he did it again. This is the second time. You know, if you're newer, I was super against Zulu Alpha and one of those Kentucky Down stakes, and I was super wrong. One of our lovely viewers, Evil Bob Dole, sent me a shirt that says, "If you can't read it, I tried to beat Zulu Alpha, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt." So it's only appropriate that I bust it back out after putting him on blast last week at the Pegasus.
Luckily, Morticia was not running at the Pegasus, so I didn't have to wear my Morticia shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
That's right. Gonna kill those odds for you, buddy.
Last one that.
Yeah, I think the chagrin was more from the fact that we had the opportunity of either doing Sam Houston or doing Delta Downs, and the guys chose the track that's running Arabians in the first race of all things. I mean, because we're so good at betting Arabians, it just
Hey guys, you want to hear
you'd
something?
think.
I thought you sounded quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, you did sound a little quiet.
Yeah. Mark loves Arabian horses, if you haven't noticed. So
I have no problems with Arabians. I just, how do you bet them? Like, it's like, we're gonna all be sitting there like, yeah, that spotted one, yeah, sure.
yeah, I haven't looked at the race. It's probably not a race I'm gonna bet. But I don't bet Delta either, so it's probably about all the same to me.
No, I mean, I think I think we can go over Chase's picks. Chase here is using the 7 in this race, which is, I think, is a horse that makes a ton of sense here. It's one of the horses I want. I've actually have a pick 3 going that starts here as well, using a lot of the 7. And Chase is taking the 7 here and then going into a pretty short priced favorite in the race 5 of the 12 horse. Looking at double Will Pace, I'm expecting that horse to be kind of in that 3 to 5 range. And it's sort of the horse that I think we talked about this a little bit before. Isn't necessarily the horse that you go, oh, I love the horse. It's just I absolutely hate everybody else, and that's the one remainder you come up with. But in here, he's using a lot of toothpick, the 7.
We can hear you, Josh, if you want to stop
Which I
tapping on
think
your mic.
yeah, I don't think he can hear you say that. But so yeah, Chase is using a lot of the 7 in here, toothpick. The other one in here is that made a lot of sense to me was the favorite, Unveiling. And I'm also in my pick 3 using a little bit of High Above, the 4, and a little bit of Surely, the 10. I'm probably a little too logical in here, and hopefully my pick 3 doesn't chalk out and pay nothing. But I'm my idea was try to be fairly logical in the 4th and the 5th and catch a price in the 6th race, which I think is pretty darn wide open. You back to having a working mic, Josh?
I don't.
Well, we can hear you, but
we can hear you, but it doesn't sound like normal Josh. You have the mute button pushed on? So I think we have the same mic, and I know it has a mute button on it.
well, yeah, sorry if I'm quiet. I haven't actually gotten through the whole card yet, so I'm still glancing around. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. There's nothing. I didn't like anything really in this first race at Turfway. I don't think I'm going to play anything. When I went through and handicapped, I came up with 2, 7, and 10 as my top selections. It looks like I'm pretty much agreeing with the general public there, as those are the top 3 betting choices. Then I had the 4 and the 11 as Bs. Or if I was going to play a pick 3 or whatever, they would be Bs. The 4 is too short of a price for me to play. But the 11's sitting at 21 to 1, so I'm going to roll back through and see what I liked about this 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not a horse that I used, but looking at optics, horse does fit what tends to work at Turfway. I will say with how the first 2 races played, if you're paying attention, you're assuming that bias is real that we're seeing tonight. You would want to be all over the 7 here. The 7 would be a lot of value, assuming.
All right, how do I sound now?
But that was
much
there
better.
You are.
Jesus, dude, I don't know what the heck happened. That was so weird. Do I sound clear at least?
You're good.
Okay,
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So sorry to interrupt you there, Mark.
No, I was just saying if you assume that the first 2 races were, the bias is changed into the tracks a little more speed favoring, you'd want to be all over the 7 here, which is should have the most initial velocity, the factor velocity, and looked like speed was carrying pretty darn well those first 2 races, and you're getting a little bit of you're not eating chalk too badly. I think 9 to 2 on a 7 right now. Yeah, 9 to 2. So I mean that's enough value where you could probably win bet the 7 if you think that's real. Now, I don't necessarily know if I believe it. I want to see another race, but yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at this.
Yeah, 7 is probably the most interesting horse I think here. Depending on how the bias plays out, I think the 7's got a real strong chance to be. I don't think the 7 makes the lead. I mean, I think that probably goes to maybe the 10 or another horse in here. But I do think the 7 makes a lot of sense as the horse that obviously doesn't need the lead and could overtake it, turn in for home. You can kind of ignore that first race off the layoff with the new trainer where the horse just didn't really give much a run, but his next 2 races were pretty good. He is coming up in class here, going from non-winners of 2 to non-winners of 3. But the connections are strong. This trainer's, Joseph Davis hitting 25%. So I do like that 7. If I play anything here, truth be told, it would probably be an action bet where I'm trying to maybe work this 11 in with the 2 and the 7 perhaps. Because those are probably the 2 likeliest winners in my opinion. And I don't know that I love the 11, but I like the 11 about as much as I like the 4. And if you like the 4 at all at whatever he's sitting at right here, 7-2, 4-1. Yeah, 4-1. Then in my opinion, you kind of have to like the 11 a little bit at 22-1. I mean, I understand the horse is 2 for 29 lifetime. So, I would need better odds than I would on the 4, but it's a horse, the outside seems like it's been strong. I don't know that this speed's been playing well, which does not serve the 11 very well, but, he did improve in his last race. Joe Ramos is actually riding really good for the Apprentice, and it might be one that can sneak up and hit the board. So if I play anything here, it's probably going to be a 2-7 over 11 exacta, or maybe something with a trifecta, king the 11 and third.
So I actually think I'm going to try and win this whole thing in one bet.
Should I put your $5 in the bourbon fund now, or
with a $6 bet? Actually, no. Yeah, $6 sounds fine. I'm going to do a straight double here. The 2, race 4 to the 1. It's paying $190 for $1. And it just went down to $138. Never mind. I mean, I'm still going to play it, but I'm not going to be able to knock it out. I am going to pray to the bias gods that we have a speed bias here. Looking at the next race, Rosebud's Tiger, the 1, looks to be pretty much lone speed on what I'm looking at in Brisnet. I haven't looked at optics yet. But just from first pass on Brisnet, looks to be far and away controlling speed. So at 30-1 morning line, and I really do like the 2 here. So I think trying to get a little bit more value out of this 1 next race by doubling it. I'll probably play something like a $5 double, maybe look at a pick 3. I haven't really looked at race 7 yet, 6 yet. So, but I really do like the 1 in the next race, and I like the 2 here. Worst case is if I miss my double, I still have probably will get pretty good odds on this 1 for a straight win bet and trying to build some tactics around. But I'm not going to get too crazy here. So I think I'm probably just going to play a $5 straight double 2.
Okay, because Caleb said I should leverage my opinions, I'm going to try to get this in. I'm going to actually change up what I posted. I'm going to put a little more emphasis on it.
Y'all taking some swings tonight.
I mean, I'm taking a small swing, but like that's the thing is that like if you like a high odds horse, you got to figure out. I mean, there's a couple of ways you can do. You can either figure out how to get even more value out of it. In this case, I really like this 2 here, but this 2 is going off super short. So I figured the best way to get value out of this race was to look at the next race, and I just love the 1 next race. So I'm kind of trying to get value out of this 2 in this first race by doubling it into a horse I really like in the next. And then depending on how odds play out, I'll have a small win bet there on the 1 just in case I miss here. Try and play some exacta key boxes with that 1. See if we can get a little bit of scratch here. But I'm taking a small amount. I'm only playing $5 because that's really, it's paying well enough that I think that's going to make a pretty big dent if that does hit. I know you hate this race.
Like the strategy. I like the strategy a lot. You're leveraging a horse that's likely to be a favorite, and looks like the best horse or one of the top 2 horses in the field anyway. For some really strong connections with a 30-1. So I love the idea, and I don't even hate the idea of the 30-1 horse next race. I think the horse has potential to be lone speed. I haven't watched enough of this to like confirm for myself that the speed bias is going to be something crazy, because this horse has made the lead and then just seems more of a quarter horse than a thoroughbred. But 30-1, I mean, that's the kind of shot you take. So I definitely don't mind that at all. And I'm not going to play a double here, I don't think, because I'm not sure that I have enough of an opinion to leverage into a secondary weak opinion. But if I like that 1 enough come next race and I'm getting this kind of price, or if this race gets all speed on the front end, there's a chance I throw a win bet or try to work that one into exactas. But I'm going to hold off and see.
All right, and it looks like we are loading in the gate, so flip over to.
Yeah, my final's up in Discord. So of my $50, I'm down to $7 left on my account. It should be fun.
Oh man. All right. I think I do have enough time to get a bet in. I'm gonna go with a 2-7 over 11 exacta.
I'm just sticking with my one bet, the 2 to the 1 double here.
Yeah, $2, 2-7 over the 11. And a little bit of insanity insurance. I'm just gonna bet the 11 for $2 to win. I don't really want to throw him in the exacta on top because I really don't think he can win. But if I have it upside down, I'll hate myself. So
I think the Arabian race went off already.
Oh shit, you're probably right. Turfway seems late tonight.
I kind of like the.
I like the 1, 3, and 7 in the Arabian.
And the horses have reached the starting gate. It is now post time. Race 4 from Turfway.
The 7 one at 1 to 5
to go 6 furlongs.
Yeah.
I like the chases in chat.
Thorpe Doro coming forward for ACL.
We don't need his video. We could just set up like his iPhone on his chest.
Next, as Toothpick goes in, Grace on a Gradar looking to go back-to-back here.
Well, anyway, Chase has a 7-12 double here, just as a reminder, and he also has a win bet on this 7.
Numbers never lie, and Keith
I think
McNerney
that's the largest bet size I've ever seen Chase
packed
use.
in by the gate crew.
$10 win bet?
Oh, I thought it was like $3.
Up comes a Smoke Monster Shorely.
Yeah, it's no win place or win show or anything. He's going for the jugulars. Well, it's a 3-1 horse, so he's going for the, the elbow, but still.
High Above for Alec Townley. Ready's Mission for Tony Mraz in from Chicago. Edgar Perez looking for a second on the card.
Where's our boy Dennis at? I don't see him up tonight.
They are at the post. They're off. Quick start for Brilliant Boy, who caught a flyer. Also, there goes Shorely on the class drop, hard hustled. Meanwhile, Ready's Mission was just put in tight and checked back to second last. Up the backside they go with 5.5 furlongs to go. Now Toothpick emerges with De Leon to the inside and Shorely to the outside. Brilliant Boy away in third. Up on the outside advancing as they head up the backside is Smoke Monster now from the inside unveiling. Then a break of 3 with a wide angle of the far turn run after a compromise start is Ready's Mission. Then we trail back 3 lengths as they head into the turn, and we'll find High Above the quarter 22.
5-2. I mean, as much as I did like the 7, 5-2 is probably the short side of what I'd want for that horse. I would have taken the 2 at 2-1 before I take the 7 at 5-2. But I'll tell you what, this 2 looks good. I mean, 7 looks good. Sorry.
Up on the outside, Ready's Mission from the inside is Brilliant Boy. They straighten and they got to get to Toothpick, who'll turn them on down for Joe Davis.
Yeah, the 2 is
up on the attack, Shorely to the outside. Now finally unveiling has found his feet and unveiling the
looks like this 10's gonna get there.
But Shorely got first run to the
The
inside.
2 get him up with the wire. Oh, 2 got ahead in
front. These 2 in a photo finish. Tight photo finish. Their whiskers apart. Shorely to the inside.
Well, Josh gets some action. Had to work for it.
Yeah, a little bit. Now I just need a 30-1 to come in. I'll be fucking high stepping like fucking B marks over there. Although
I can't say
his was a little more impressive.
Yeah, 11 looked good for about 2 furlongs, and then he needed an Uber.
Yeah, the 7. Well, maybe I feel a little less good though about my 1 now, seeing that the 7 just fucking died. I mean, got used up and did not. But we're racing on Sentai.
Chase said, "Ass cock."
Well, it was ass cock, face, ass fuck. That's what he actually said.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of glad I played that one light. I thought the 2 was likely, but
I
at
thought
that
you weren't going to
price,
play that race at all.
I just played the 11 given the value I thought might have been there, which it wasn't. I mean, truth be told, I'm kind of gonna have to spot play because at least as far as Turfway goes, I haven't found a single race that I'm like, yeah, I want to attack this.
Oh, let's take a look at this second race coming up at Sam Houston. We have looks like we have regular horses, not Arabians. It's a pretty small field for Sam Houston, though, huh? 6 horses.
Let me pull it up here.
It looks like the 7 is scratched here. So we got 6 horse field here. On quick look, I don't like this. Why is this 2 8 to 5?
Yeah, that 2 at 8 to 5 makes no sense. I was on 3 and 5 here.
I haven't even looked. I'm gonna glance through it. I love Sam Houston. These pick threes, doubles, they always pay so much better than it feels like they objectively should.
Why
Yeah,
do you
'cause
why do you
the
think that
dude's
is?
I think they're just generous.
Yeah.
Don't think it has anything to do with the lowest takeout in the industry, huh?
Well, 3 out of 4 horse racing experts will tell you that takeout matters.
But only 1 out of I guess only 1 out of 2 out of 3 bearded ones.
Yeah, only 2 out of 3 with facial hair though.
I mean, I haven't shaved in a week, and this is as much as I can manage. And
Oh my
I
god.
shaved yesterday.
yeah, this 1 looks pretty good. I like your 5. Was it your 5 that you were on too? 5 looks pretty good. I do not see the 2 at all, so I'm guessing that someone's just fucking boat board.
Yeah, I won't have this 2 in a million years because he just broke his maiden, and y'all know how I feel about that.
We know.
Um,
If you were to ask
there's-
if you were to ask me,
okay.
Zulu
Okay.
Alpha probably just broke its maiden every race before.
There's $250 in the win pool right now. Somebody put a $50 win wager on the 2. That's why the horse is the favorite.
That will do it.
You don't even have to try hard to pop manipulate here.
Yeah, you know what? I think actually, looking at this race, I would probably go with either the 5 or the 3. I think is what right there.
Yeah, I was on the 3 and the 5. Those seem to be the 2 most likelies.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I'm gonna kind of move ahead and look at 1 looks really.
Now, there's that next race gets pretty spicy. There, you could go a lot of different ways into the next.
I'll tell you what, man. Deshaun Parker's been riding fucking lights out at Sam. Now, granted, he has been getting most of Asmussen's best horses at Sam Houston, so that could play a large part in that. But the 6 here too with Luzzy next race ran a pretty good number last time out. The 8, looks pretty good.
I was the most on the 1 to 6 there. A little bit of 4, 11, and 12.
Yeah, that plot on the standard race is pretty crazy, huh? All the fucking squares at the front. That's crazy.
I'll be right back.
And then looking forward, that 5 in that race 4 could be Lone Speed.
In the 4th at Sam Houston, you thinking?
I mean, looking at the optics, I haven't looked at anything else, but that 5 is a big old square in Q1. And there's nobody else in Q1. I might take a small stab with like a pick 3. More of an action play, but I'm going to be playing super narrow. Probably like 2 by 2 by 1. So taking a shot for $1 for like $4.
Yeah, I don't have enough of my bankroll to take any more stabs at anything I want to do horizontal. So
Well, you're live still.
yeah, that was an A for me. I mean, obviously, you know me and my love of chalk.
Still got 13 minutes there till Sam Houston. Got the 21 minutes to Turfways next, where I'm hoping and praying for this one. I know we haven't gone around yet. What are you drinking over there, Pack?
I think I'm drinking the same thing that Caleb was drinking, which is a little E.H. Taylor rye, which is mighty, mighty good.
Yep, I didn't bring that one up because on my Twitter post, which probably nobody did because I have like followers. I'm doing pretty much all Buffalo Trace bourbon. So I started off with this Eagle Rare, which is a single barrel pick from my local store, Benny's. There, shout out to my boy Garrett for hooking us. Yeah, I mean, I love this bottle for $35. You can find it cheap for a little bit something. But I also have a Buffalo Trace pick from Benny's as well. And then I do have just sticking with Buffalo Trace stuff here, and going from that. So we didn't really recap much from last week. And we did the preview show. How'd your Pegasus weekend end up looking?
Pegasus weekend could have been a lot better. I think I did a poor job of handicapping that card, quite honestly, and got a little too cute in a couple races. And yeah, it could have been a lot better. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I know we all kind of posted some picks on the site, just like broke down race a piece. I did 4 because I just didn't really want to reiterate pretty much what we had all been saying. I kind of thought that the Turf and Pegasus World Cup we're gonna chalk out, and obviously wrong there. Well, I mean the Pegasus did, but I didn't really like mucho. But
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
I was just say I had the peg down to 2 horses, and I was right. You know, I mean, it was one of those two. It seemed like there were 2 real logical contenders, and then a bunch of horses that you had to get a little cute and creative to get there. So yeah, the 2 that when I wrote the blog up, I was pretty spot on in them in that race. You know, I think the Turf was a case of you have the can't remember her name right now, but the European shipper that came over.
Magic Wand.
Yeah, there we go. Magic Wand. Wow, my brain's not working. I'm sorry. Magic Wand once again showing that she does not want to win. That race absolutely fell into her lap, and she just decided to let somebody pass her. You know, I think we all kind of blew that. We all kind of screwed the Turf up, but I wonder how much of that is my Caleb bias here. You know, and
you do like to blame Caleb when your tickets go south, or
Confirmed.
when you hit on what would have been a skinnier ticket, but Caleb always seems to somehow make you add a horse and make your ticket so much more expensive. I don't know how that happens either.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Even when he hits, it's your fault.
You know, I had cheaper. Brian, the old the Mr. Middle Move himself, broken down horse player. You know, he gives me shout outs when I tell him to add a horse and it hits. So I guess it's all. I can't let my ego get too big.
Yeah, I mean, that second leg of that Gulfstream pick 6 carryover, I was gonna single that the 2 horse or something, or no, it was a 3 horse I think, and then you're like, oh, you might want to add this one. Sure enough, that's the horse that won. I mean, I busted up in that. I made it through 2 legs instead of just 1. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I think as far as Stream Team's concerned, we did a pretty damn good job on that card, with the exception of 2 races. You know, of that 6 race sequence, I think we were pretty much all over the most logicals, with the exception of 2 horses. So, I think we did a pretty decent job. And again, it was hard to get to. Both the price horses there, they were hard to get to.
Yeah, that I hit that pick 3, but of course I only had 50 cents because I was taking a fucking beating the whole day. So, but I think it paid what, 150 or something. I forgot. With not a crazy ridiculous Mario style ticket. Oh no, Jimmy McNerney likes the 7 and the 12 here. The 12, it looks like he's the favorite right now.
Yeah, 12 is definitely gonna be his favorite. 8-5 might even be value.
Yeah, I think 8-5 is probably value on that horse. I expected, looking at doubles, that horse would be closer to 3-5.
I'm still rounding back. Which race comes up first, Sam Houston or?
Sam Houston's got 8 minutes to
Sam,
post, and then Turfway's got.
Okay, good. So I'm going to get something at Sam Houston then.
So I know my my opening nonsense apparently was cut off due to, I have no idea still. I don't know what happened with my microphone. But yeah, so Caleb, I'm guessing you're not going to be sending Ryan Moore any kind of Christmas cards or anything here?
No, he's not going to get any love from me. I mean, that race falls into your lap. How do you leave the rail that open for Zulu fucking Alpha to come up on the inside? I mean, I don't think he ever saw that horse for a second until he was already half a length clear.
Yeah, and then fucking apparently Zulu Alpha ridden by Calvin Burrell there. Fucking up the rail. Gone.
That was a hell of a ride by Hernandez, though. I mean, he to make that move and have that much horse left. I don't know how it happens actually, but yeah, that was a hell of a ride he put on Zulu.
It was a good ride. I can give that definitely credit. Horse doesn't win if he swings out wide.
Nope, 0 chance winning out. That's the only way he wins that race is steal it right up the rail.
Isn't it Gaffleon, not Hernandez?
Or I'm sorry, yeah, it's one of those jocks that I hate. So
I was like Hernandez. I'm like, wait.
I was thinking Brian Hernandez was on him for some reason. No, it was T-Gaff, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling
One
you,
of the terrible
Gaffleon,
Kentucky jobs.
Yeah, Gaffleon is only good at like 3 tracks, and one of them happens to be Gulfstream. But he's not that good when the Ortiz brothers and Saez are down.
Yeah, you're actually right. Gaffleon's good at like Gulfstream, Kentucky Downs, mostly Kentucky and Gulfstream, basically.
You know what? I don't even think he's that good at Churchill, but he's like Keeneland. It's like Keeneland, Kentucky Downs, and Gulfstream, and it's just like everywhere else you're like, whatever. It'd be really interesting if he ever got like a favorite out of see how the betting goes on that.
Or maybe like a Derby, second or not second, I guess, like 4th or 5th choice, drawing the rail, exiting the Louisiana Derby.
More will cost me.
Fuck, dude, this third race at Sam Houston feels wide. I want to play doubles, but God, there's a lot of ways you can go here.
By the way, if we're talking about Triple Crown horses, Caleb, how about Aqueduct today?
Which race are you talking about? I'm not remembering.
The
Sir Winston. Fuck yeah,
Sir Winston.
I mean, I feel like such a dumbass.
So,
I played against that horse because like these Derby horses and Breeders' Cup horses are always like perennially overbet, and it looked like a chalky sequence anyway. So I'm like, you know what? Like I'm gonna chuck this horse. He's a dead closer. He didn't pick up his feet last time on the turf. He's gonna be 6-5 or 4-5 or something stupid, and I'm gonna just try to beat him, even though it looked like a hot pace and everything else. Somehow this horse goes off 4-1 and wins like it is a grade 1 winner against Allowance. I mean, God, did I feel stupid for not having him after watching that.
Well, he is technically a grade 1 winner, and it was pretty much an allowance race. So, I mean, your analogy is right. But yeah, he looks like he may be a legit horse, and hopefully it'll be good for the 4-year-old division or the older division next year. So I was kind of excited to see that. But yeah, I think we all were fading him on the idea that, okay, he's going to be 2-5 or something in that race. Goes off at
Yeah.
4-1 and wins like he was 2-5. He was absolutely really phenomenal. So it's nice to see him back in good form, and yeah. And it burned, I think, all of us because we were all trying to fade him.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a carryover like that, I mean, I was taking to make, at least 1,000 or so on the pick 5. If he wins, given my opinions elsewhere, I wasn't interested in playing that pick 5 for a $200 score, and it's pretty much how it worked out. So
this also becomes one of those races that it goes off and they're coming in a stretch, and you go, wait a second, how did he go off at 4-1? Like, how did that happen?
Dude,
Because
I saw
if
that, I could not believe it.
All right. 2 minutes, Sam Houston. I'm going to get a bet in here, I think.
Some other thing is he's been in witness protection for the past, 6 months or something.
Yeah, we came back in that turf race at Fairgrounds and, ran just, hilariously bad.
Doesn't really have a turfy pedigree, though, but
Wait, he won a turf race today?
No, he ran a dirt race. He came back from his layoff into a turf race.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though with his slight name recognition. 4-1, wasn't he an 8-5 morning?
Yeah, he was 8-5, I think, in morning line.
And by slight name recognition, you mean being the Belmont Stakes winner as well? But minor detail.
Oh well, no one cares about that. Really, all the other stakes on that day.
Oh no!
Last year
agree.
was such a fucking.
Yeah, speaking of horses that are in witness protection, where's the Derby winner?
I have no.
Saudi Arabia, right?
Country House.
Oh, him. Fuck.
Yeah,
I still didn't register that as the Derby winner.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, just to get it in, I don't know when it's going off. I'm doing a bet that I literally never do. I'm going to box an exacta with the 3 and the 5 at Sam Houston because it's paying more than I think it should. I mean, the one's the only other horse you could feasibly use, in my opinion. I don't like the one that much, and I'm getting $18 to $25 for a $2 bet on these exactas. So I'm going to play a $4 exacta box, 3-5 at Sam Houston. I'm actually debating about firing a double as well. I don't know how much time I have because they're showing me the tote. I'll cancel that if it drops to $10 well pay. Because these pools kind of take a lot of money late. But as it stands now, I'm comfortable with that bet.
I am being a pick 3 here. So I got a 3, 1, 6, 4 as my A's here in pick 3 at Sam Houston. And then I'm using 5 as a B in the first race and 6 as a B in the last race. So I'm playing two tickets, 3, 1, 6, 4, 6, and 3, 5. So that gives me a little bit more coverage. If it comes 3, 6, 4, or something like that, I'll have it for $2, and I'll probably turn a little bit of a profit with the low takeout, the low 12% takeout, Chase. And if one of these kind of like my second choice in the first or third race hits, I'll probably have a much better payout. And it's just a total $8 play. Still keeping it pretty small. And I normally hate the pick 3. FYI, I am not a pick 3 player. But at Sam Houston, oh no, he heard me. Oh no, he heard me.
He's had enough.
Oh no,
Everybody shut up. So here's what's going to happen at Turfway. I've got a $10 win on number 4, Lady Greatness. In 2017, in the first race at Gulfstream, I hammered that horse at 15-1 to put me in the lead at the Oaklawn Handicapping Tournament. I watched the replay, got a bad break last time. I think it's faster than Josh's piece of shit one. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that with a $10 win. I'm going to play a $5 double into the next race. I can't remember which horse now. But and I'm also going to play 147 Exacta Box. And I'm tired. I'm tired of the slander, Josh. I actually didn't even hear what you said, but I'm very fucking disappointed in you.
We were just talking about takeout.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
All right, looks like they're loading in at Sam Houston.
Oh man, this Turfway is something else.
I know, dude. That race sucks. Well, I went with my 1.
So, well, let's watch Sam Houston.
Boundless Joy, High Def Ridge. Goes in. All 9. All set?
Okay, it was a double the 4 to the 2 at Turfway for $5.
And they're off. Squeeze at the start was Miss Spicy.
Yeah.
Boundless Joy
I also
got
played a
speed from the
double
outside.
at
Agent
Sam
Bishop
Houston
at the
5
rail.
with
These
the
will be the 2 into the
146.
first turn. Flying Magic Song, Yellow Cap.
I think
third,
3 is a
Spicy.
slightly better horse,
So
but I
Mike
thought
Beals
5
goes
might
to
be
touch
low in
there, get
speed, and
behind
the Will
four,
Pays are
Tory
a lot
Glory has
better.
taken fourth. High
I didn't
Def
want to
Ridge,
play a
you see 'em
2x3 double.
Boundless Joy gets
So
to the front, is up by 3
5 with
quarters
the
of a length.
146
Right
at
there in
Sam
second is
Houston
Agent
and
Bishop
a
at the rail.
3-5
Flying Magic
Exacta
Song in
Box.
third.
I wonder how much that
Oratory
dropped.
Glory is moving out wider, is moving up from fourth. Is still comfortable
5
with that
took a little bit
position.
of late
Little
money.
tough to handles Miss Spicy, who's moved to the backstretch.
Um,
Another 3 back to the
So those
trailer.
Exactas
High
stayed good.
Def
They
Ridge,
both
they move up that
equalized at
backstretch. It's Boundless
$18 for
Joy.
$2.
Sasha
So
Reisenhuber looking for the early double.
I'll be
She's
happy
up
with
by a
that
half
if
length.
either one of those come
Flying
through.
Magic Song right to her
I'm
outside
seeing
at
the
second as they
3-5
start to
as
pick up the tempo of the
$5 for a
backstretch.
buck.
Patiently
Am I
ridden
looking
there
at
is
doubles
Agent
by
Bishop,
chance?
who now
Oh,
scoots through
doubles,
the
my
rail.
bad.
Wants to get up there with
They're
those
talking about
leaders. They're
Exactas.
approaching the half-mile pole. Oratory Glory.
No, I am
again
talking about
moving up as
Exactas,
well.
but I
5
still
of
see
them across
3-5
the
as
track as
18.
Miss
And
Spicy gets
okay,
up into the mix
3-5
as well.
just went down.
Agent
Yeah, that
Bishop is
sucks.
trying to
That's
make a
on like
move
12
inside of
20.
Boundless Joy.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to get trapped in behind
I'm
rivals.
getting
Flying
18
Magic
for
Song is 3
530.
wide. Oratory Glory is 4 wide. 5
Looks
wide.
like
Miss
regardless
Spicy.
of what it is,
High
if my
Def
5
Ridge can
can't put
still
away
see
this
them all. They
2,
went
this is
slow.
going to be a bad
50.54
day all
for that half
around.
mile, and now they pick it up into the far turn. Agent Bishop is
I'm
now
sorry,
put a
5
neck
can't put
in
away the
front.
1.
Boundless
He's
Joy.
too good.
Oratory Glory is ready to challenge. 3 wide
Yeah.
is coming after that leader, and the leader is Agent
They're
Bishop
both going
dropping
back,
back
it
a
looks
bit
like.
there. Flying Magic Song less than a quarter mile to go. It's a sprint for home. To the inside, it's Agent Bishop who's got the lead. Agent Bishop now kicks for home. Boundless Joy is 2 wide.
This
3
one's
wide
gonna
is
run away. Look at
Oratory
that.
Glory as they're approaching the
Yeah.
8th pole.
They're both
Agent
good
Bishop
chandelier
got
this,
the
huh?
jump. Oratory Glory is trying to grind away up on the outside. Boundless Joy hasn't given up yet. Agent Bishop now
David
widens the
Cabrera
margins
owns
up by
this
3.
track, apparently.
Ground-saving
Goodness
trips out on the pace,
gracious.
made the early move, and Agent
That's a
Bishop and
tough
David
one for me.
Cabrera cruised to
Well, it's
victory
not-
in
it's
round
nice
two.
that David
Boundless
Cabrera
Joy
gets
for
to own
second.
something
Oratory
at
Glory,
some
Flying Magic
point.
Song in 1 minute 40.9, 5 seconds.
I mean, yeah, it's not impossible to have, but that's just not. I would have the 3 and the 5 winning that race, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would have the 3 or the 5 9 times out of 10 winning that race. The 1 for me was much harder to come to.
Anyway, back to Turfway. Anyone else notice that the first 4 races today have been won by the first inside 2 posts?
That's another
Yeah.
reason why I like
Yeah.
this one. Let me look at my Will Pace here on.
If that trend continues here, there's going to be some big dollars to be made because the inside 3 posts are all above 20-1.
Yeah, that's why I'm a big fan of this 4-2 daily double. I'm getting a great price from a horse I feel strongly about with Lady Greatness to a Wesley Ward horse in 8 furlong race firing from that 2 post that's been hot tonight, and I'm getting a $20 plus probable on that with $5 puts me firmly up Caleb's ass in this competition and ready to use him like a goddamn puppet.
Well, I haven't had a bet in, I think, 2 weeks, so. Shit, I just do not like anything.
All right, boys. I'm headed in to watch this race, and just remember my prophetic vision that I gave you all. Peace.
All right, I'm betting another $5 into the here at Turf. I got just a flat $2 win bet here on the 1, and then I have another double coming out of this 1, $2.
So I'm gonna play at Turfway. I don't really like anything, but I need a little bit of action, and because I don't like anything late either, and no one wants to sit up here and watch me not bet. So I think the 12 is the horse to beat here. I'm gonna play a 12 over 2-8 double. It's chalky, but at $30 ish, it's not that bad. I'm gonna play that for a $5 base, 12 with the 2-8. If I can make, $50 out of a $10 bet, I'll take that for now.
And instead of making a place bet, so I was gonna bet this 1 win place, but I'm just gonna do a backup exacta with 4 and a 12 above the $1. So just a small kind of backup win bet, just in case I do miss on this. Get a little bit better. 1 is floating up to 40, I guess.
Yeah, your 1's not winning.
Yeah, just some insanity. I'm gonna throw a 7-12 over 1-9 exacta. 9's kind of the long shot I liked, and I don't think this one can win. But given the inside post bias and everything else, I don't want to call it a bias because that's fucking weird for Turfway. But given the way that inside posts have played, I'm gonna, I think the 7 and 12 are likeliest on top, but I don't want to play that, chalk over chalk. So 7-12 over 1-9 is the 2 long shots that I like here. Well, 1 is Josh's long shot. I won't take credit for that. But the 9 was mine.
I'm obviously.
What are you live to, Mark?
4, 7, or 12. 12 is my A. 4 and 7 are both C's. I'd probably am better off to eat 4 or 7 here, just on the value proposition. I would imagine.
Who's intent on getting the lead, and meanwhile, Lady Greatness underneath, and all of a sudden, Rosebud Tiger comes on.
12 went from about 8-5 to 3-5 in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's about what I was expecting for odds.
Toss is third.
Well, Josh, your 1 is at 60-1 and is going
in a perfect position from
a delightful 22-2.
The Riches is 7th, out wide Love Totem 8 to the inside. I ain't lying 9th. Then Chocolate Cherries is 10th, and Boarding Card is 11th and last.
Let this bias carry him.
The quarter 22.
I mean, he's got a lot of daylight, but
at 60-1 has built a 4-length lead.
45 and 3 is too fast. I'll be surprised.
Whip comes out on Bruce Tooney toss as Almo Fuerte's committed to go 5 wide, but Rosebud's Tiger, the big long shot, will cut the corner. Has a 3-length lead. The Jock's looking back for competition.
Oh my God, can he do it?
About 4 lengths for the back down the center. Almo Fuerte finally found his feet. Meanwhile, Robotron splitting horses.
Can he do it?
Rosebud's Tiger needs the wire. Here comes Robotron. Almo Fuerte to the outside between horses.
Oh, fuck
down
me.
to the line, and it's an upset winner at 26-1.
Guess who didn't put the 9 on top of the exacta at 30-something to 1.
Was that the 9?
Yep. Fuck. I had that horse a long shot play. I just didn't think it could actually win.
I'll be contributing to the Bourbon Fund momentarily here.
Me. Oh, that hurts. I feel like I'm going to get a message from Papa being like, can't believe you didn't bet that. You called it. I'd be like, fuck, I know.
I almost feel bad with Josh being so right there. You almost, you wanted to get it home.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, Josh. I mean, that was a great pick with the 1.
That's a great pick. That's a brutal beat.
And of course, the my backup bet. Jesus. Oh, that fucking 9, man.
I mean, I'll tell you what, Caleb, we were right there in the fact that a lot of people ended up on that 12, not because they liked the horse, but because they hated everybody else.
Yep. I mean, I hate bet. I usually don't like to bet races where I end up on the favorite because I hate everybody else more. But I haven't even handicapped the last race at Turfway, and I didn't love anything in the next two either. So I'm trying to get some action here just to be a participant. But that sucks. I should have fucking played. At those odds, I should have just played it back with the 9 on top for another $2.
I was like away from pretty much being done. Oh man.
Yeah.
Judges posted top
I mean,
finishers, winner
that
number
912
nine,
exacta
Bernadette.
only paid
Second number 12, Alma
$123. So
Fuerte.
like,
Third number
I don't
one,
want to say
Rose
only
Willis.
$123, but like,
Fourth, number 5,
I kind of
Robotron.
expected it to be a little bit better.
9,
But
12, 1, and
I guess
5.
everyone had that horse box maybe with the 12.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a $60 exacta for $1. I mean, that's like, I feel
it's
like
not bad, but I expect better when I get a 21 to on top.
How much did you have that double for, Josh?
$5.
Oh, yeah, that would have just about.
And then I was doubling out of it for another $3, and I had win money on it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
contest would have been over in one race.
I would have been
Yeah.
live to $600 to the 2 next race too. Jeez, man.
That 9-1
In the
exacta
winner's
would have
circle,
paid
number 9, Baronet. She's a
1660.
7-year-old baby by the Funny Bone.
Dude,
You can
then
watch
you
it
would have been
there.
really
Baronet's
salty.
winner owned by Paulo Martinez.
Yeah, I'm actually really happy I missed it by giving 912.
As the
I'm-
winning jockey,
Oh my
Super.
god.
Number 9,
But,
Baronet.
hey.
Now a
So-
first-time winner
Stupid.
of the 6
Dude,
panels
even
in
though the 1 didn't
112
win that,
and
like
2.
absolutely, I think the
Pick
inside
4
and
kicking off
speed
with a
is still. I mean,
26-1
if you look at,
winner here
I'm looking
in
at like
race
some of
number
these
5,
speed figures
and that
and
pick
stuff.
4
Like
pool
this
closes
one,
over
like should not even be close to.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's tough to say. I mean, the 1 ran a much, much, much better race than he's pretty much ever ran before. So, like, kind of makes you think the inside might be pretty good. I mean, he lost to horses that were drawn to the far outside, but I think the inside is weirdly good right now. I don't know. I'm not so sure on speed. It does seem like they're coming from off the pace, but that horse almost held on at 60-1. So I don't know. Just all I'm really content to say now is the inside seems
And the
pretty
race
strong.
is now official.
Which is
Baronet at
unusual, but-
26-1 now. Your official winner returns 54.60, 12.20, 6.
I really like the last race handicap in case I want to play pick 3.
The trifecta for $1 with the 3 to 5 favorite in the middle, $1,209.40. The double $214. Pick 4, $1,179.40. The super for 10 cents, $563.84.
Chase just said, "I hate horses and I hate all of you."
$161.50. The pick 5 was solved. $50 horses on the top and bottom ends, and for a 50-cent investment, that'll get you.
Well, Josh, for
$1,000.
$5, you had a pretty good thrill for about
Oh my god.
50 seconds.
Yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately too. The worst part is that you were like.
So now the 6th race
You're
is
like
up next
2 or
in
3
22
seconds
minutes.
ahead
Jockey change on the 2
of me.
quarterback deck to
So
Leandro.
I
Oh,
still saw the
no.
one. I still saw the one ahead, and you're like, "Oh, that's such a bad beat." And I was like, "Oh fuck, I know what's gonna."
Oh,
happen."
fuck, sorry, dude. That sucks.
That's not your fault. It's the Twin Spires feed. I'm actually kind of surprised because the Twin Spires feed should be HD, since they own Turfway, but apparently they don't have an HD.
Interesting.
I normally play on Naira, so Naira has Turfway in HD, which is like a funny thing. Yeah, show me that show photo. What did it pay to show?
Favorite hit the
1360 or
board, but I'm
something.
sure it paid well.
1560. Yeah. 1360. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but like, I wasn't gonna just fucking play it to show. Like, I would doubled up. I'm not missing.
I think Chase is in a dark place right now.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm looking at these will pays for the pick 3, and yeah, oof, oh.
Polka Dot Taylor just texted me, asking me what we were drinking. We kind of went around. I know when you were gone there, Caleb, and we assumed.
Oh, I think I missed it actually. Yeah, I'm drinking the E.H. Taylor rye this time.
Yeah, the Mark sourced rye.
Another source from a dear friend. It is phenomenal. Between that and the small batch, I mean, it's really good stuff if you can find it.
Yeah. So Polka Dot Taylor says, "Oh shit, I've been putting you guys on winners." But apparently, we haven't been putting anybody else on winners.
I feel personally attacked.
Oh well, you did call that 9.
I hope somebody smarter than me made a little bit of money there. Oh god, this last race at Turfway is not much fun.
All right, gotta shake that off. And so Sam Houston. Well, I'm already fucking out on my pick 3 at Sam.
Mark, you're out, right?
Oh yeah, I'm out.
I mean, are you out, or do you have like money left?
$7.
Okay.
Okay, you can do something with that.
Yeah, it's not like Chase's
I know what
40
I'm doing.
cents.
The best run I think I ever had with some. Oh, I had $2 left, and this was back when Brett BM Fergie was still around. Shout out to Brett. We were fucking playing, what's that track? Woodbine Mohawk, playing harness, and I'm like, I don't know, man, I really like this horse, so I did a $1 box for my last $2. This like 40-1 shot with like, it was like the fucking comes in with the 40-1 shot on top. Fucking paid like $140 for it.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was like, oh, looks like I'm back. And actually the other day, I'd gotten like $5 from TGs for my rebates, and there was just some random Delta race that I looked at. I just put $5 to win on it, and it was a 7-1. Comes in quick $40, and I think I ran that up to a couple hundred. So it's possible, Mark. I've seen it happen. Yeah, I like the 1 and the 6 here at Sam Houston. 1 is just going to be, looks like it's taking most of the small pool. How these are. I think I like the 6 more. But one's going to be tough to. And I thought the 8 looked alright too. Last out ran. Per.
What did I have here at Sam Houston? I had 146, which I assume is going to be okay. I stand corrected. The 4 is 16-1. Is that right? 8 minutes to post.
Yeah.
Pots might be small.
16-1.
Pulls might be small. This horse is 5-1 in the book, and I can't imagine he's really going to go off 16-1. Okay, he's all of a sudden 10-1.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see a huge difference, in my opinion, between the 4 and the 6. Like, if you like the 6, you probably should like the 4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, oftentimes I think that's how you kind of get prices. The 10 to probably get bet down to like 5 or 6-1, probably close to.
I mean, as someone who doesn't really play Texas tracks much, if I normally, am playing, Keeneland or, Aqueduct or something, and I see a horse go from bottom level maiden claiming like 12.5 and then go up to like a maiden special, $60,000 race, that horse is almost a toss for me. But there's a lot of horses doing that. I mean, what is the real, difference in caliber of horses in some of these, Remington and Houston races between maiden claimers and maiden special? Is it just the fact that there's no turf racing? I mean, is it that big of a gap? Is it not? I don't really know. Because I mean, this four is coming out of a couple pretty cheap races, but on speed figures and other metrics, he doesn't seem that overmatched.
Yeah, I always get into that same game as well. I hate to see it, and that's if you're playing Naira or you're playing Florida or something, that's an instant toss. You just go, oh, geez, the horse is stepping up in class, and they always thought the biggest drop in racing is from maiden special to maiden claiming. So you assume that stepping up there is a huge up, and it becomes one of those head scratchers. If you see a big name trainer do it, you kind of go, oh, geez, maybe they found something, maybe there was a problem that they've gotten resolved, those types of things. But when you see it here, it always it baffles me. I don't know how to take it. I agree with you. Is it something that they found? Is it just trainers not having a lot of races and being like, okay, this is where I got to stick the horse?
Yeah, I don't tend to look at most of that kind of stuff. I mean, I with turf racing for sure. I do look at class. I try to look at the class level that the horse is at and stuff like that. I feel like sometimes you can get into like a real I'm not gonna say with like your Saratoga knowledge pack, like you're probably in a better spot to do it with just how well you understand that. But I feel like when you're operating on limited knowledge, or you maybe don't have as good of a grasp on how that whole connection game is going. Like if you sit here and try to figure out why this trainer is doing this when it's and it might look weird. If it's on a circuit that you don't know very well, I think like trying to play the trainer and jockey get kind of tricky. I mean, I like to a fault almost. I tend to look at pace above everything a little bit in turf racing, so I tend to kind of not spend as much time looking at connections, which probably to my detriment a lot of the times. But I think like it's always hard to try to operate on limited information like that. So I kind of like with the class level, I mean, I cheat a little bit and I kind of go on what his like class level rating is, which I know is not great, but I'm not about to try and guess whether a horse dropping out of state bred Texas maiden special weight into an open maiden claiming race, like if that actually is a drop in class, because it probably isn't. The Texas state bred is such a small thing. I mean, it's the same thing in Illinois. It's the same thing. I mean, maybe Ohio might be the same thing. I think West Virginia even has more of a probably as small as they breed. I think they both Texas and so. I think it gets kind of tough, trying to guess that. So I mean, I personally tend to focus a little bit on the class figures, which I know aren't the greatest, but unless I had like some real great knowledge, otherwise you're just guessing.
Yeah, I would agree. And again, it is if they're dropping out of state bred maiden specials, dropping into open maiden claims, that to me is a much less of a drop, especially if Oklahoma breds, Texas breds, those states that don't have the the quantity of horses being bred. And I would even say to some degree, even in the Naira scene, you're seeing these horses that are dropping from state bred maiden specials to state bred maiden claiming 50s or something. They're coming out of a maiden special 62 and dropping to maiden 50. That isn't as much of a drop as it used to be, because trainers know that they're playing that game of more than likely that horse isn't going to be taken on that drop. So I think even there, it's less of a thing than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I think it's always that there is that nomenclature that, oh, it's the biggest drop in racing. But I think to some degree that's not as much anymore. And I do agree with you. If the figs are competitive, it's a usable horse.
I mean, like just looking at this race as an example, like the 6, from all I can see, the 6 is probably making the biggest drop here. You know, going from maiden 40 from Fairgrounds, coming here to, you know, a maiden race in Sam Houston. There's like comparison. Now, mind you, the horse was 65-1 in that race, but it's a pretty big drop.
Yeah, that's one of those races where I think you can get yourself in trouble looking too much at class. It's a big class drop. You know, the horse ran last, was 65-1. You know, this horse actually hasn't been at significantly lower levels, but he has been at this level multiple times before and ran, you know, okay. I mean, he's hit the board once or twice, maybe. So yeah, I mean, it's 7-2. I think that's about where I would put this horse. I don't mind it, but it is like, you know, coming in here expecting this horse to romp because he's getting a class drop when he's already been proven to not be, you know, dominant at this level in the past, and he's now going out for a, you know, what appears to be pretty low percentage barn. That's the kind of one where I think you'd probably want to be careful about with the class drop.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am playing a double here at Sam Houston because I don't really like the favorite next race. Maybe that'll cost me, but I did not like the even money favorite, the 4. I'm actually pretty bummed that they scratched the 5 because it would have been my top pick. But instead, I'm going to go with the 6. So I'm playing a 1. Different weighted values for these are not all equal, but a 1-4-6-8 over 6 double. And I'm going to win bet the 4 if he stays at 5-1 or better.
Yeah, now that Caleb said that he doesn't like the favorite in the next race, I'm gonna actually play a double that's 1, 4, 6, 11, 12 over the favorite into the next leg, the Diodora horse.
Did you say 1, 4, 6, 11, 12?
You heard me right.
Just checking.
Never found a first-time gelding I didn't love.
Oh, you got that right. You know you're gonna be pissed when the 11 wins this race, but the 6 wins next race.
Oh yes, I am. I will be so salty.
I actually really like your 4 here, Caleb.
Yeah, that's honestly that might be my top pick, and not just the pick I think is the value, but you know, if you're I'm not much of a pedigree guy for a horse that's been out 11 times, but the horse's one race on turf was by far his best race, where he did have speed as well. You know, and then they tried to get him on turf once more and it coshed off. So I just think this horse may do better on grass. And you know, if you are a pedigree guy, you know, and you use Bresnet, this horse has a 7.42 DPI, which is basically a number that says the offspring of this horse's dam do make 7 times as much money as the average offspring that year. So basically, it's a ratio of how much money the offspring of a certain dam or sire makes. And anything over 2 is pretty good. Anything over 7 is pretty outstanding. I'm sure there's probably a fairly reputable stakes horse that's probably a half sibling to the 4 here.
There's also a 334 Turf Tommy on the 4, which is a very high. You know, sort of anything over 300s on Turf Tommies normally imply that the horse wants to be on the turf. So that's a pretty high Turf Tommy as well. I shouldn't say Turf Tomlinson. It's just a Tomlinson, right?
Yeah, this horse is actually I have to explain.
Have to who?
Have to who?
Tenfold.
Oh, that horse.
Yes. So I know how we all feel about Tenfold, but let's not lose sight of the fact this is a maiden race at Sam Houston.
The 11 is winning this. I'm just saying.
I need to see if I'm going to do anything at Turfway or not, but we'll get Sam Houston out of the way first.
I'm doing a small bet here on the 3 and 10. And then I also have an exacta key box with 4. So the 3 I know is like the smallest sample size in the history of the world, but I think they've had a couple starts and 33% winning on turf. Got a trainer who's 1 for 3 on grass, even though he's only started 3 horses. Probably his only win. So why the hell not? Sample size. And then I actually like this 10. The 10 has got some decent turf pedigree. General quarters hitting at 14% off the turf. His progeny. And ran 3rd in a maiden race here 2 weeks ago.
Sport is up there. Bell Ringer, Scramble On as American Sport wants the front. Benny Landeros gets it. It's going to be.
I was trying to look up who
up by a length and a half.
who
Bell
the other
track in second.
progeny was to that dam, but
back in third.
I'm like awful at searching that shit.
Darby as they scramble on behind. More than Stature's up in that mix. It's very tight. Mr.
Pro
Strange,
tip: if you just go to pedigreequery.com, type in the dam, and then go up to reports, hover over it, and there's a drop down that says progeny. It'll tell you all the progeny of that dam. You can't look up the horse and then click siblings because that requires a paid account, but you can go through the dam and then look up her progeny and get to it that way, and it's free. 5-2, fuck. I wouldn't have bet him at that price.
Goliath Ridge is towards the back with
Yeah,
Captain
you got
John.
slammed late.
2 trailers, Uncle Pat and Handsome Ransom.
I mean,
work up the backstretch. Bell Ringer.
If he wins, I won't be mad about it, but
they are up by a
I mean, it sounds like you're going to be mad about it.
On my mind is tracking there at the rail, is moving forward.
This 3 is no good.
Third. Sino Darby's trying to get the hustle along. Is trying to move.
Did you actually bet the 3?
Bell Ringer doing it nicely up.
And 99-1.
Yeah. Clear by 3. Money on my
but
mind.
if this 10 could get up into second, I'd appreciate it.
With a quarter mile left to go, is about
This 4
5
looks
lengths
like
clear. Bell Ringer about to
they're going to have to sprout wings to catch him at this point.
Well in front. Mr. Strange from out of the pack is in pursuit. Bell Ringer in front. Mr. Strange and Money on my mind are traveling, coming after.
All right, well, I had a $5 win.
As well, but Bell Ringer got the jump and is still
5-2 is not what I was hoping for, but
all Bell Ringer.
Still at least
on the front.
Profit.
Nothing
else.
Here. Bell Ringer, Ryan Gazziter to crush.
It'll justify an action bet in the next race at Turfway.
Goliath Ridge and Money on my mind in 1:39.10 seconds.
And my 11 ran to his odds. I also think you see some wonky things. We were talking about, why horses appear here. You have turf racing, in the end of, almost in February now. And unless you're in Florida or in California, you're not getting that. So I think you have the sort of, quote unquote, lower end tracks. There is no turf racing unless you're someplace like here.
That is true.
But yeah, that horse right there is kind of the definition of if you do a little digging around in PPs, because the one time that horse was on turf was absolutely jumped off the page. Just think of, did something happen? Is that why the downturn happened? Or does that horse just really want turf? And I think the horse just really wants turf.
Dude,
yeah, I think one of those things where I think you can't look at the class, considering that horse was definitely, and if that's a Naira or California track, that horse is probably a toss, but it might be one of those instances of a horse kind of getting back to what he's good at. So,
yeah, I mean, if you look at on the Bears speed figs, the one time he ran on turf, he ran a 73 fig. And the second fastest he's ever run was on dirt, was a 60. So you're talking a 13-point jump on just going from dirt to turf. That's it's a massive difference. And the horse had been running in the 40s and 50s recently. So, that again, that return to that, kind of normalcy, puts that horse where you had today. Yeah, I mean, if you like the horse, you got paid for you doing a little digging and, not doing the thing that everyone does. Look at the last 3 kind of.
Last 3, dude. Who's got time for that, dude? I look at the last 1.
So I really like this 8 at Turfway. I'm trying to find a way to make a play here. You can go ahead and fire that Memoy in chat.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that this 2, like at anything above like 2-1, I think might be an overlay. But
approaching the gate. Field of 10.
That
Third
last
final
race
rolling
looks
pick
really
three.
fucking good, and I always like a horse coming back second time out after having a real hurt. I feel like sometimes, especially with horses with more experience, sometimes they get overlooked with the horses that have 3 or 4 starts that are pretty consistent. Because I always feel like that from that first to second start you can. And this is a Wesley Ward horse, so I do really like this 2. I end up also like this 9 here.
I'm gonna fire a Caveman spread machine pick 3. I'm gonna single this 8. Sorry, this 8 horse. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing here. Yeah, I'm gonna single this 8 and then go 1-7 in the next race. Spread like hell in the last race and hope. Kind of like Mario. That last race, 1-6, 7, 9, 12.
I just threw a $2 win bet on the 5, by the way.
Sanderland.
Yeah, I put 4 to win on the 2 here. The 2 to win on the 9, and then I boxed for $1 the 2. On pace figs, I think this 9 is have a little pace.
Money for
I know he's coming out of a sprint, so who the fuck knows what's gonna happen on the stretch out, but I think the 2 have a really rare period.
Celtic Mischief,
which might be the better place on the track. But we have seen those horses come up from the outside too and close a little bit today. So kind of doing a little bit of best of both worlds here with the 2 and the 9.
Yeah, my thoughts here were I like the 8 best. I like the 2 almost as much. And I like the 4 after that. Oh god, 6 got super left. I didn't want to use the top 3 betting choices with the top 2 betting choices in the next race. So I figured I'll take a shot here with a single. Hope to be right, and if not, then maybe fire a double or an exact the next race.
Yeah, Elton, they cannot be happy about that start on the 6th there.
5 wide skating on thin ice, who's trying to tuck it now.
Meanwhile, Brisky caught out in the middle of the track. Then advancing comes Money for Mischief.
I mean, 4 kind of missed the break, but oh my god, 6 really. It's tough.
After that compromise start. On debut is last, the quarter.
Also, whoever mentioned it, I don't know if it was Josh or Mark. Somebody mentioned it. I also did like the 9 and 10 here. I think somebody said.
Yeah, I'm on the 9 here.
Yeah, I did like the 9 and 10 more the 9 than the 10 because I don't think the 10 was fast enough to make the lead. But
Money for Mischief in a good spot now, advancing to the inside of that one.
The 5 would be
Then
much
for the
more
back
forward
is Celtic Mischief as Sanderland's being ridden to keep pace. Meanwhile, Jilt, the son of Ghost Zapper's on the move, and now the last Cool Cat. Last of them all.
We get another 60-1 thrill down to the wire.
The big long shot has built up a 2 lengths lead.
The horse is running.
Chase mode from second.
Blood bet.
Here's Money for Mischief. Raging up to the outside.
4's made up a lot of ground after that break.
On that one's back
My
from
5's
fifth as
rolling
they round
too.
the third up.
Oh, 2's coming up the fence. Oh shit.
Commissario has been collared by Deerslayer. Up the fence, quarterback Dak trying to sneak through. It's quarterback Dak to the inside. Deerslayer to the outside. Late on the scene, down
Looks
the center.
like,
Money for Mischief
I'll
and
wait
Jill
for
in the
Josh.
final furlong.
Yeah, I'm still looking here. I can't believe I'm that far behind.
Deerslayer from quarterback Zach.
I'll throw that 6 horse in your stable. He actually third, and after that start, that is just incredible.
Yeah, that's incredible. That horse was left by 30 lengths probably. He just did not move when the gates popped.
Yeah, I mean, this is a horse that's, been working pretty slow in the morning. I can kind of tell he may not have been fully ready. It's really hard to win our first time start going 2 turns. But Thomas Drury is a good trainer, and that's definitely a horse to bet back.
Yeah, it's also one of those head scratchy horses. You got Jimenez up, who's a 24% jock. Drury's a 28% first out trainer. But obviously Drury doesn't have a win on the meet. And so it's one of those ones you kind of head scratch and go, okay, this horse is either really live or really not live.
Oh shit! I didn't realize Chase made bets.
Oh, yeah.
Chase, yeah, I didn't see these. I just checked the notification now. He was on the 2. He was all in with the 2 for the win place. He had a $5 win place on the 2. Then he had an ice cold pick 3, 279 for $4. So
So he'll get some place money.
he'll get the place money back. So he may be able to fire a cheap double or pick 3 or something, exacta or something. But yeah, tough to say. I mean, that race did not look like, inside was anything special to me. I happen to think the 8 was just that much the best, but
Polka Dot Taylor out there drinking the Dickel bottled and bond. And tap it saying Deschamps. So where are we sitting at here right now, Caleb? What do you got? You have money?
give me 2
left?
seconds. I'm adding this Jilt horse to my stable. But yeah, so I actually played a very spready 3, and I'll throw it in the chat so everyone can see it. Cash wise, I am not great. I am at $40.20, so I'm down below the $50 starting point. Hitting that win bet at Sam Houston helped, stem the tide a little bit. But I am alive at both tracks. I'm alive in a $2 double to the 6 at Sam Houston, and I'm alive in a $1 pick 3 to the 1 and 7 at Turfway.
Yeah, I am alive to the 4 at Sam Houston for a whole $7.70. And I have $0 in my balance after that. So
I just went to look at my stable, and apparently I have a random horse in my stable, and I want to know how this horse did last next.
no notes.
Yeah, I put notes in there, but my notes broke badly by 10-15 lengths, rallied for 4th and hand ride, galloped out best. But what the fuck? On 524 I added this. I haven't seen anything. Because the horse has not run since 524. Interesting. Well, that explains why I haven't gotten a stable alert on the horse. That's really interesting that they didn't have him run this horse.
Well, hopefully this next Sam Houston race goes off, so if I hit there, I can fire back at Turfway.
I didn't even check the well pays. What am I? I mean, I'm much. Let's see what the well pay is on the double to the 6. Oh shit, $119. That's really not bad. I'll take that. The thought process basically being the 4. I don't really like the 4. I mean, the 4 gets class relief, and I understand that, but the 4 looks to me like one of those horses that just loves the mud. 0 for 6 over a fast track. Both wins came over, an off track. Those muddy speed figs are always a little bit suspect to me. Also, I've always found that 7 furlongs is a tricky distance. I tend to favor routers cutting back as opposed to sprinters stretching out, or 6 furlong type stretching out. This one, the 4 hasn't really been able to, hold on, go in a mile. I guess his one try at a mile wasn't too bad. He was leading, he got past and almost came back. But at least with the 6, I think that he owns 2 wins over a fast track. He's proven it a mile. I do like the cutback. And I'm hoping that this kid gets him involved early, because the scratch of the 5, there's really no obvious speed. So I'm hoping the 6 might be on the lead, kind of like he did last time. Put the horse in a place where he might be successful, and see if he's good enough, which he may not be. But that was basically my logic for trying to get away from the 4 and go toward the 6.
I'm still trying to add this horse. I tried doing it on Twin Spires, and it's just a fucking nightmare.
I don't use Twin Spires stable because, for God knows what reason, I never get notifications until after the race is already over. And like, even though my settings are set up to send it beforehand, so I use my stable alert either through Equibase or NH Play. But
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do Equibase normally, but I only have one horse.
Yeah, both the both the NH Play and the Equibase ones work really, really well. So I like them both a lot. The one thing they say with the NH Play one is it'll text message you, which is just awesome.
yeah, and
And
it'll
it text
also
messages you like the morning of, and it also will text message you if there's a scratch of your horse, and then it text messages you like an hour before the race, so you keep getting alerts.
yeah, it's nice, and it also will. You can set like stop sending after like 3 starts or something like that, so that if I bet a horse with a shit trip and he gets 2 more chances and just doesn't run, it doesn't just keep sending me notifications, and I forget why I had this horse in there in the first place.
You can also put a star rating on it, so you can say, "Oh, geez, this is a 5-star must bet back," or like a 3-star, like, I saw something interesting, maybe I want a little dabble.
Yeah.
And the notes section is great as well. So I think they did it right.
Man, we got an old horse of mine running it. Not really of mine, but a horse I used to bet forever at Turfway, Tobacco Road. In for an optional claiming 25, in for a tag. I mean, that's a horse I really thought might be fairly decent, way back when.
What, last year?
Yeah, like last year. But God, that horse is just not panned out. I want to like Tobacco Road here because I really like the go long pedigree. And that distance is a pretty big question mark for a lot of these, but he looks really out of form. It's kind of tough to say. Kind of tough to endorse. Based on his last 4 races.
What, Bourbon Traffic?
Yeah, I also was somebody who thought Tobacco Road might be something, but after coming out of the Asmussen barn, he has been beaten by a whole lot of lengths in his last 5 starts, and has not looked very good in any of them. So I love the pedigree, and he at one point you thought he might be one of those horses, but he just doesn't quite seem to be good enough, and I don't know what the level is where he shows performance.
Dude, how crazy is it that he got claimed for 40 at 4-5, and then next race out he's 100-1.
I didn't see that, but you're right.
Oh man.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, I mean his well, that's what happens when you come out of the Asmussen barn, into a 5% barn.
Yeah. Does anyone who follows Sam Houston know what's up with that Iram Diego? I mean, I thought that was always a jockey that got decent mounts, like Cox and Asmussen on that circuit, and he's 4% this meet, 2 for 50. I mean, I'm looking at race 5 at Sam Houston, and he's on the 2 horse there, who's 7-2 for Brad Cox. But how do you get those mounts, or is he not getting those mounts? Just like
I don't
random?
know, but I mean, he's even with that awful start, past 50 starts, he's still 18% for the past 2 years or year and a half or whatever.
Yeah, so
and, he
clearly
normally
has
gets
talent.
Yeah, he normally gets Asmussen mounts. So, but I think the thing is that with Deshaun Parker coming back, I think Deshaun I think he's always been at Sam Houston, but I think with Asmussen running horses here, they've been giving him to Deshaun instead of Iram Diego. So I think Iram used to be first call maybe, but probably second. Because yeah, for sure in like at Remington or Lone Star, if I see Iram Diego and Asmussen, those are like top connections. Really weird that he's doing so. I haven't really been paying too much attention to Sam Houston. I'll play on Saturdays usually, but I'm not playing it like.
Yeah,
I did not notice that he was doing that bad. If you would have told me to guess what percentage he's hitting at, there's no way I would have guessed single.
Yeah, I mean, nor would I. So that's why, and I don't follow the circuit that well. I mean, if you get regular mounts for Asmussen, any of those guys, out there, I'd expect your floor to be 10%.
Yeah, I mean this next race is pretty incredible. 5 horses.
I'm live to the 6 for a pretty decent double. But the next race after that, I don't think there's much that I like, so I may just wait it out.
Yeah, I mean the next race you could make for the race 5, maybe 12, who's on turf. Everyone else not running on turf.
Yeah, there's so many, no turf runners here. So, I mean, if you're a pedigree nerd like me, that kind of makes sense. I mean, but it is kind of, a guessing game at the end of the day.
You know who might be interesting at a price next race? 11. Osmo. Uncle Mo horse. First time out for Danny Pish with Lane Luzzy aboard. So that's pretty Danny Pish is hitting at 20% first time out, so only 17% on the turf, but still Uncle Mo hits at 15% on the turf, so dude, there's some decent
there's some good horse. I mean, some good pedigrees.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, like fucking Uncle Mo, there's probably nothing else here. There's a Kitten's Joy. There's 2 midshipmen, which is decent turf.
Got a City Zip. Union Rag sucks on turf, but overall decent sire for Brad Cox. So there's a lot of ways to go here. And I agree with you on your 11. I think, as a rule of thumb, I generally downgrade horses, debuting at a route in their first time start, unless it's trained by like Chad Brown. But that 11 at 10-1 is one that it's not like a maiden facing winners where I won't use them. It's just kind of knock them a little bit. So that's a horse that I think is interesting. However, it's an Uncle Mo horse that did sell for $9,000 out of a $75,000 stud fee. So it's kind of always.
I have the stud fee listed as $125,000.
That's the current stud fee. When he sold it was $75,000.
Yeah, he's gone up since then.
Sire average sale is $313,000.
Yeah,
$9,000.
This was the 92nd lowest out of 93 total horses.
It's like when you go to the fucking grocery store. You go to the grocery store and you're walking past and you see like the dented can section.
Did you just call that horse a dented can?
Fucking. Here's the deal on the Uncle Mo horse. Dude, a Malibu Moon dam too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like about that 11, except for the post mostly. But at 10-1, that's a horse that you can forgive a lot at 10-1.
I tend to forgive too much.
Wow.
Too forgiving and trusting.
We got a late scratch at Sam Houston. They're scratching this one horse. I didn't have him, but that's going to hurt my payouts, which kind of sucks.
Really?
I just saw it flash across the screen.
How far behind?
He's not scratched on the board yet, but I saw it say.
Really? Because I only see the 2s for the.
Yeah, maybe not. I could have swore it just said late scratch with the 1. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't see him on the track though.
I was gonna get in here and yell at you for calling scratches out too early.
Well, I've been yelled at by better for less.
$6,421. Is this the right race? Is he firing a $20 win play show on this 2 here?
Sounds like him. If it's a bomb,
is it? No, it's not a bomb. It's 5-1.
I mean, I'm rarely one that's gonna. Actually, I lie. I will criticize people's betting structure. I'm not across the board better, but that's fine if you do. But I would never bet a show in a 5-horse field with a 1-2. I mean, I would much unless you really think that 1-2 is going to miss the board, then I'd rather just put $60 to win or a $40 win place.
So yesterday, I forgot if this was Delta or, but I was gonna bet this horse win place, and I'm like, oh, bad idea. Like I don't like the place bet, you know, because if you end up getting the favorite in there, like, well, I'm gonna bet this horse wins, you know, because usually if you have a real high price, the show price, the show hits more often. Like show hits more often, and you usually get a decent payout. There was, I mean, the win bet's obviously the most efficient, but of course, I bet this like I don't know why I never fucking bet win show, but of course, this one time I don't bet this long shot win place, and I bet him win show. The horse places and is paying like fuck. What did it pay the show? It paid 1560 to place. It paid 480 to show.
Oh shit!
And I had it win show. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I had it for $4 too, so that would have been a nice. It would have been a nice little, you know, essentially at 5.5 to 1.
I'm sitting here looking at the Maidan racing for tomorrow. I was just looking at the card. It's crazy competitive, and if anybody wants to get up early and they'll play a little Dubai racing.
Is there any significant American presence over there, or is it strictly?
There are a bunch of American horses. It's not a lot of horses you're going to know names of. These are a lot of these are sort of Dubai Carnival prep races. So they're races prepping for Dubai World Cup, which is in the end of March. So it's sort of 2 out from that. So you run in a month, and then run in the Dubai World Cup prep. So it's horses that are angling for that.
They run on turf over there too, right?
Both turf and dirt. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. I have both. Yeah, I very much enjoy Dubai because, you know, like I'm looking at these races. Every race has 20 horses in it. It's great.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's really funny. I start to think now, like before when I first started, like turf racing makes no fucking. I used to fucking rage about how bad I was at camping turf, but man, now I'd rather play turf in all weather races because of how
Completely agree.
just because of how formful sometimes dirt can end up being. Like I much prefer.
Well, I mean, I think also turf races because it's so pace dependent. And, you know, for somebody like you, honestly, I enjoy turf racing a lot because I tend to find more 8 or 10 to 1 horses that are live in a turf race than I do in a dirt race. I tend to find those prices just come to me better, and I do better on the price side in turf races. So I very much enjoy turf racing. To me, I prefer it over dirt, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I love turf racing. I mean, typically you have field sizes that are on average 2 to 4 horses bigger. I find the races to be where pace is a little more logical. I mean, lone speed can win, but it's not like some of these dirt tracks at Gulfstream or Santa Anita that if you're not on the lead turning for home, then you pretty much have no chance. A lot of the time, not always, but you get these pretty pronounced speed biases and whatnot that make it kind of frustrating to bet. So I love turf racing.
You know what, the thing, maybe it's because turf racing's not solved, because I feel like with turf racing, like you'll still find lone speed situations where you get an okay, like that Mean Mary race. If that race was on dirt, Mean Mary's gonna be even money, 2 to 1 or something. Mean Mary's probably going off as favorite, but because of the extreme pace scenario. Turf, what do we get? 5 to 2, 7 to 2. Got what? We got a Mean Mary. We got
Mean Mary went off at like, I think 5 to 2 range.
She was 5 to 2 when I checked, but there was like 3 minutes. So
that was the world's easiest 5 to 2, though. Like that was you look at it on optics and you go, "Oh, this horse jumps off the paper at you." But but also big, deep, competitive field. So is somebody willing to take that price? It pays out nicely.
I mean, Glorious Empire, when he won, always paid out nice.
Yeah, I'm so frustrated that I didn't get cuter and just slam Mean Mary as a single A. and try to spread a little more late, and that could have been a very, very, very profitable day.
Yeah, I'm a little frustrated too. I think I used only 2 A's there. Mean Mary, and there was a Chad Brown horse in that.
There was a
right?
Chad Brown horse that we all used.
Yeah, and we all.
And
it's hard to not use Chad Brown, but on Thoroughbred, that horse was no faster than anybody else. It was an average horse. So like, yeah,
Mean Mary stood out in pace. So you want to go to Mean Mary.
Once again, that
it was one of those things where it was more out of respect for what Chad Brown can do with some of these horses, more so than anything else. But yeah, I wish I would have got a little more confident around Mean Mary there.
And quite honestly, I wish I just played that early double, because we had been all over that. And with Fat Man winning the first leg of that pick 6 and the next leg, that was all too easy.
Yeah, that Fat Man, Mean Mary, and then Pink Sands pick 3 paid really.
Yeah, the double Fat Man's into whoever won the second leg. I can't remember right now, but Mean Mary. It was Fat Man, then Mean Mary, then Pink Sands. Okay, the Fat Man into Mean Mary. That double paid really well considering the prices.
I'm looking. So the Sam Houston's looks like they're kind of interested. Boat boards. Or is so.
I don't really get it. I mean, I get he should be the favorite, and I get it's a small field, but 1 to 2. I mean, maybe even money, but not 1 to 2. And it looks like the 2 is pretty slammed in the next race as well.
Race number 4, field of 5, getting set to load, kicks off another pick 3. $1 minimum wager, 12% takeout.
The Sam Houston 5th, I thought was pretty spready. I did not feel that race was one that got easy. I thought that was a pretty deep race.
Yeah, I agree. I was 2-3-7 in the 5th race at Sam Houston. The 7's a horse that I really like. I don't know what price you'll get.
I like the 7 as well quite a lot. I
did a quick little action bet here at Sam Houston, just so you guys know. 3-4 over 1. So $1 exact.
Goes in. All in line. All
set. I do, yeah. I don't hate that at all.
And
they're off.
Pretty even break.
The one I have a hard time
She's My Broker has speed, so it's reach, and now reach.
I think the one's going to be
coming early pace as well,
late, and I think that
at
least 3 of these horses.
Blue Silks is in fourth, early trailer with 7.
I don't think that you're going to see.
You're playing for it to fall apart. No, I understand where you're playing for it to fall apart. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I looked at this race as, and sometimes those races do fall apart because the jockeys realize there's 5 closers and 3 of them send. But we'll see how this shakes out. It looks like it's an honest pace.
Not called on for the effort yet. Fleeta Bell tries to move up her inside. They've got
is this honest for Sam Houston? I don't know.
I'm assuming sub 24 going a mile is to a track like this, but I don't really know.
My Broker trying to keep up. Fleeta Bell
46 and 3 almost has to be on the fast side.
Quarter mile pole. It is still reach. Here comes Fleeta Bell to the inside. Miss Perdido Key is
my 6 is kind of dead on the board, but I'll be still surprised if the 4 wins from here.
To the top of the stretch, and still
maybe he's really just that good. 1 to 5, yeah, I guess so.
Fleeta Bell is still in pursuit, trying to close the gap.
I mean,
reach might be just too good. It's
46 and 3 going a mile. That's fast for most places. I don't know about here, but
reach is a win.
I mean, it didn't look visually impressive.
For second,
so
She's My Broker, Miss Perdido Key.
Probably the world's easiest exacta, though.
Yeah, thought the one was gonna have a little more run there at the end, but yes.
Oh.
No, I say that in the exact only paid $3, so maybe not.
Yeah, but that 4-1 exact.
But do you know how it finished?
I thought the exacta paid first and.
Oh, it was 7 furlongs, not a mile. I stand corrected.
Oh, you see, there you go.
A lot more fair than I realized.
Oh,
it didn't look visually fast.
Okay. So Chase is all in on the 7. He's got 7 over 158, 158 for $1.50. It looks like.
Junket.
And then he's got a 7-8, 7-8, 1-5, 1-5 super.
Up.
Well, damn Sam Houston running late. I'm not going to
El
get this wager. in 'cause I'm
Ahijado
not
and
gonna pay
Bourbon
it
traffic
time
load
unless
in.
something happens here.
I'm live to the 1 and the
The Gray
7 when
United
we pick
stand
3.
coming forward.
The
Ammunition
4 was a
locked
B
away.
horse that I didn't want to play
Just 2 remain.
because I'm being cheap. So if he beats me, he beats me.
The 7 does look pretty good.
I mean, I really thought the 7 was a standout.
Tobacco Road.
I knew the
goes
1 was
in.
going to get overbet just because of the good connections and the coupled entry. It kind of seems to be what happened.
Yeah, the one I actually like. One of the. I could take or leave.
Go
Yeah.
Navy go to the outside. They're at the post.
Yeah, and Chase wants his try
They
tossed out, so
are
it's 7 over
racing.
158 over 158.
Good beginning
There's
for
a
El Ahijado, who's hard hustled out
I
of
thought
the
I said
starting
that
but
already,
Shakes
but-
Creek has speed. Here comes
Well, I'm
United
saying it
Stand
again
as
because he
well.
was being
Up on the
complaining.
outside, Tobacco Road, these 4 right across the course. Then it comes Bourbon Traffic, Go Navy Go to the inside.
This was a
of
tough race
the
for me,
junket. Then comes
just given
Times
the,
Square, Ammunition.
how many
as
horses
they
are
pass the
unproven
line for
going
the first
anywhere near
time.
this far.
At the
Yeah.
back of the pack, Lowe's Journey is
I was kind of
last.
interested in the 1 or the
They
9
hit into the
here.
first turn, and they are
kinda
going at a
taking that,
very fast
speed
clip for this
play,
classic distance. In
but
fact,
it
the
looks
first quarter
like
up on the
they're
board,
going stupid
23
fast. So-
seconds flat.
Wow, 23
where
flat
Shakes
for a
Creek
mile and a
leads. El
So
Turf
if we
Ahijado
were to
still being
if we were
asked
to
quick, and in
freeze
fact,
right
the whip
here,
comes
I
out
would
on
probably
El
want someone
Ahijado
like
early.
the
United
5.
stand to the outside.
Yeah, I'd be looking at the
Tobacco
1A
Road
right
is
now.
fourth.
The
Then
1
the
was
trail
probably
links to Go
maybe
Navy
even.
Go out in the clear
He's
while
the runner
racing
rabbit.
fifth. Bourbon Traffic is next. Then comes
It
Times
might
Square.
be. I
Still
mean, it's
2 lengths
ironic
further
because the
back
1
to
was actually the
Junket,
horse
who
I liked
races
better
down
than the
on the
Yeah, me
1A.
too.
And the Lowe's Journey is still last half mile.
Oh,
fast,
yeah, I love that.
46
Fucking
and 2.
Jock's going
Very
46.
fast
He's looking
fractions
behind
for
him.
this
He's like,
mile
is
and a
anyone
quarter
by me?
distance, where Shakes Creek leads him up the backside just outside the half-mile pole and is 2 lengths in front of
Really
Tobacco
Dude,
Road.
you know what would be perfect
To the
here is
inside,
if
United
Tobacco Road
stand
wins
third.
this.
Go Navy
Oh,
Go
I'd be
is
so salty.
fourth. Bourbon Traffic to the inside on hold from fifth. Advancing to the outside, the great Times Square. Also
This,
trying to
though, what
follow
is-
that move as they
really?
hit into the
I
turn.
mean,
It is
this 7
Ammunition.
looks
Meanwhile, from the
done. I
backfield,
don't know.
Lowe's
The kid lose
Journey is
irons or
lifting off
something?
after 3 quarters in a torrid 1:11.
I can't really tell on this
and
grainy ass
This
Jake
one, I mean,
Williams
he-
feeder
still
showing
there.
us.
Still in
Yeah,
front by
he's
2.5 lengths.
the jock on the
Tobacco
1
Road is
was
second.
under his
Go
arm
Navy Go
about
punched
6
along
times.
from
He's gotta be
third.
loaded.
And
Yeah.
Lowe's Journey, the
Oh,
back
check
nine
out-
is
check out
finishing
his,
He
uh,
looks like he's
down
getting
the
awful
lead rail
short,
from
though.
fourth,
This
the mile up
6 looks like he's
38 and
coming.
1,
Oh.
and they
Oh, he
turn
went to
on
the
down for
fence.
money, and
I don't know
Shakes
if he's gonna
Creek
get it
still
done on the
fighting after
fence.
those fast fractions.
Oh, he's rolling
And
on the
up on the
fence, though.
inside, here
Look at
comes
the
Lowe's Journey,
rail
the big
is
long shot
loaded.
back
Look
into
at
third
this.
is Tobacco Road. They're inside the final four
Good.
at
Did you get
furlong,
there, though?
and Shakes Creek is digging
Yeah,
down
he
deep,
is.
but here comes Lowe's Journey trying to pick up
Looks
the
like he probably
pieces.
will.
Shakes Creek,
Oh.
Lowe's Journey to
Shit,
the
I think
inside.
he's 6
Shakes
got there
Creek
by a
in a
whisker. but
photo
that's
finish.
Barely.
Yes, it's not
I
that-
think
Oh.
Lowe's Journey got the
Fuck.
better of the
Look
two
at-
bobs,
look at
but
your-
Shakes
oh,
Creek
shit,
either
I probably
way
was way too
ran
loud
a
there. Tobacco Road, dude, got up for third.
I mean, that's insane that horse
Back up the truck.
was able to hold that long after those fractions.
So 8-1 morning line goes off at 32-1.
I mean, that's atrocious. This horse is 1 for 29 lifetime, and the
So
coupled
you're
entry
saying
was
I should have had it.
well, and the coupled entry was listed as 6-1, which should have been 5-2. I mean, those are pretty terrible.
Well, I was just thinking,
lines.
if you knew they were going to go out that fast, then the 6 is the horse because
Yeah.
the 6 is your late closer. If you know that those are going to be the early fractions, that's the horse you want. But nobody expected that to happen. That was just
No.
stupid.
Yeah, I was looking at the 7 as, the 7 or the
look like 6.
yeah, I thought the 7 was going to be, maybe the 1, I guess, on the stretch out would be the only 2 leaders. I never thought I'd get out there and just go on a suicide mission that way.
Yeah, when you're looking at the optics and you got that, like, one horse that's like straight up vertical and it's got like that real fucking ton of height. Like I always like betting those horses, especially on one turn, but this is a 2-turn classic distance. But that fucking 6 is that huge ass square. Like if we knew the pace was gonna be that fast, which optics sure as hell didn't think it was, that 6 would have been pretty out there.
Oh, I really thought I would get by that race with the 1 and the 7. I don't know what the fuck happened to the 7. I mean, the horse was in perfect position and back at the half-mile point.
It just stopped.
Longest,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the horse looked very good, but you just never know how they're going to respond to trying to go 10 furlongs.
longest press on the board.
I mean, a horse you could have gotten to if you had the assumption that falls apart, which with how the track has been super speed favoring tonight, you don't assume it's going to fall apart like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you tell me the pace is that fast, I can probably get to that horse, but I don't. That horse is probably going to be my 6th or 7th pick. So
It's one of those things. That's why a lot of these Midwest tracks are really hard to me, because the jock colony is just not solid, and you don't trust them to understand pace. And oh, hey, mile and a quarter. That's the first time I've ridden one of these in the last 6 months. Like they don't have a. It's just it's super hard to trust them. And
I completely agree. I mean, it's kind of what killed me last week. Find what I thought was a number of like lone speed scenarios or favorable pace setups that did not play anything the way they look on paper. So it's tough when you get these jocks that just ride like that. I mean, I don't want to be like aggressive because I'm not a jock. Hard to find a different word than stupid when you're going 46 and change for a mile and a quarter. I mean, that's like Kentucky Derby fractions.
The one did hold on for hold on for a second. So, and with a bug aboard. So I mean, okay, cool. He probably got his job done. He was probably told to go. The track's super speed favoring. Just send, make the lead, and don't stop. If that was his orders, that's fine. It's just hard as a handicapper when you don't understand that's his orders.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
probably
like
more
the one.
accurate.
But like you said, he was stretching out big time, 6.5 quarter. I mean, he was running longer races before, but that's still quite a bit of a jump there. To ask the sprinting horse to, I guess, reel. The jock probably. I mean, I really did like that one, but yeah, unless I knew that there was going to be 3 or 4 horses vying for the lead, I don't think I get to the 6. But yeah, that big old square in optics comes up on a hot pace, which I did not foresee. So,
but no middle move.
No, it was a hot pace, and here comes the Mr.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have said, speed is good, but I don't think a horse has gone wire to wire since we started.
Yeah. And
so I'm inclined to think it's more off the pace.
So maybe I'm remembering this incorrectly. I know you guys probably don't play Turfway all that much streaming, but doesn't it feel like first couple races play one way, and the fucking last couple races play completely different? Because I swear there's been multiple times where speeds or like outside has been really good, and then all of a sudden fucking early speed, like the next like 3-4 races get wired. I feel like the bias has been changing a little. I don't know if they're doing stuff with the track or if they're doing like something else is going on, but I feel like there hasn't been like one consistent night where something you could go like the whole night knowing how the track was going to.
I think that often happens at tracks like this where you have a jockey colony who may not be as experienced and may not have that understanding, and they say, oh, the first two races were won by horses on the lead. That means that there's a huge bias and I need to go full send. And then what you see is races start collapsing, which is what happened in the last race. I think you start seeing that in weaker jockey colonies where there's less of that consistency and there's more of that chasing a bias, trying to get those wins. Those guys are a little more aggressive at, God, I need to make the money, and I need to get my, whatever, do the best I can. And you start seeing things where what happened in the last race happened. Hey, we're going to go full send. You don't know orders as well, but I'm assuming that the jock on the 1 was told to full send, and assuming the 1A was the closer. And they were kind of whatever, tandem entry. Yeah,
I believe a wise man once said, "I'm a professional jockey. I don't know what I'm doing or how the track is playing."
Was his name Mike Smith?
You know what I'm talking about, Caleb?
Paul Arnold, I believe.
Oh, Paul Arnold. Our boy Papa with 4 Perriutes fucking dive into the rail every race. Oh, man.
Those were the good days when you could just count on outside stalkers and closers doing well at Turfway. Anymore, though, I kind of agree. I mean, like the first 4 races were run by horses on the inside 2 posts. Like you'd never see that the last 2 years at Turfway. And it's not like the inside is good. It's just inconsistent, I guess, or maybe the outside's not advantageous. Maybe that's a better way to put it. But it's been tough.
And this next race, I'm actually kind of interested.
Do you mean Turfway or Sam Houston?
Sam Houston.
Yeah, it's an interesting race.
Interesting race because, I mean, you have a bunch of most of these horses are trying turf for the first time. Got what, maybe like 3-4 horses in here that have some kind of turf start. So it's real interesting because I think 2 is getting fucking.
I'm with you. I'm a notorious, bad trip, bet back kind of person. And the 2 had a pretty rough trip in a race that was initially scheduled for the turf, got washed off. Objectively, this is a class drop from Fairgrounds to Sam Houston. All the respect in the world for Brad Cox, but the horse still ran last by 20 lengths in his debut. And even if I treat this horse as a first-time starter, Union Rags on turf doesn't do it to me. I mean, 3% with first-time turf winners, only 5% turf overall, with a jockey who's having a pretty terrible meet, winning 4%. I mean, it's a horse that, I understand why people would want it, but at anything under, 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, I'm not interested at all in a race where there's a lot of interesting ways you can go. The 3 and the 7 are the 2 that I'm probably most interested in. But it does look like your 11's taking some money. He's already sitting at 9 to 2.
Yeah, there were a couple of horses in here that I was looking at, turf pedigree wise. I do like that Uncle Mo, the Fish Osmo. This 10 kind of is speaking to me a little bit. Kitten's Joy. This trainer is pretty red hot, 27% in the meet so far, and does well with turf debuts. So, and it looks like Kitten's Joy is definitely like a household turf sire. Another one to look at. Midshipman's a little bit more of a newer sire, but also hitting pretty decent on the turf. He's got 2 horses in here, the 8 and 5, and the 7 as well. A City Zip horse with Asmussen on Parker's. There's a lot of ways you can go. I mean, heck, even this 4 has got some turf pedigree out of by Galileo sire.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not the person. I don't like to really rely on the tote that much, but this is one of those instances where, if the 2 really does stay in this 7 to 5, 3 to 2, 6 to 5 range, it could just be the public slamming Brad Cox in a field of, less known trainers, although you still have Asmussen. But it's one of those ones that almost feels like maybe this horse was just loaded for his debut, got washed off and wrapped up, but still, I'll take a shot against. It's not a horse that I'm going to use at that price. Is there anything to do at Turfway? I have nothing alive at either track.
Yeah, I know. I'm really going to try and I think key my next play in on turf race. But
I'm down to $40.
what do you got, Mark? How much money you got? $750?
$770.
Oh shit!
Ooh. I believe Chase is either out or he just quit. I can't tell because he just said I quit and left. So I don't know if he's out or.
But he
I
said
believe
sexy
he's out
first. So he said sexy, then I quit. I mean, it could be either.
This 10 speaking to me. Last, what's up?
I like your 10. I do like your 10 quite a bit.
This 10 has got a lot of mark qualities about it. All right. So you got the breeding, right? You got the Kitten's Joy. You got a trainer who hits well on turf debut. Then you got a jock aboard who, with this trainer, is winning at a 25% clip last 60. This is clear cut in a fucking turf horse. I don't know how many kittens. I don't think you breed the kitten third horse. Much like you don't breed the Union Rags to get a turf horse. So I think I think on kind of connections, this 10 really speaking, and it's already halved on the. It's down to 7-1, but I still think 7-1 is a pretty fair price. I'd much rather play this 10 at 7-1, 11 at 5-1.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I really like the 10 a lot. There's a lot of things to like there. If you want to call it a formulator horse or whatever, but Jock, who with this trainer is much better than his regular hit percentage. High first turfer trainer. The works don't blow you away, but again, it's Sam Houston. I'm not expecting him to blow you away. And a trainer who does really well at mid and special weights as well. So the 10 is super, super interesting. And again, it's also one of those, it's a very binary type of horse. Either this horse wins or this horse probably doesn't hit the board. I don't, it's one of those types. So, but 15-1 morning line, bet down to 8-1 right now. It's pretty interesting.
I didn't look at this 10, but y'all are talking about him enough that I'm going to pull him up.
And I've heard this Kitten Joy's, sire is kind of okay.
I did look at this horse. Yeah.
Yeah, so I always like one of the things I like about Brisnet. I mean, there's a couple things I don't like, mostly with the trainer stats they show, but I do like when you pull up a horse and you're scrolling through a race and you're just looking, and then all of a sudden you see like just some like random horse and there's just like plus signs everywhere and you're like, oh, I guess I should look at this horse. This 10 like definitely is just like would be like one of those horses plus signs they've run a couple times. I think I mean, I don't even bother looking at the work times or anything like that, but just from breeding alone and these connections, I'm really liking the 10. I'm liking the 11. Those are probably my top two picks. I know they're both first-time starters, but the horses that have run on the turf here, none of them really have even had like half decent. If I saw a horse that even put up like a 60 on the turf, maybe. None of these really scream turf horse. Maybe the 7, but I think the 7 is too short at 7-2. I mean, City Zip can kind of go either way. And Asmussen same way. He's especially at these like lower level tracks, he does pretty deep turf, but I think it's just. But I think I'm probably going to try and key.
I put a $3 win bet on the 10 because I don't have that much budget to play with. So,
I don't know if I'm going to play anything or not. I actually want to play a double, but I know we're going to run out of stream time before that. But I am going to play this. I'll let maybe main ADW. I like the 2 horse a lot in the 6th race. So what I'll probably do independent of the stream is play maybe like a 3-7, 10-11 with the 2 in a double. For the sake of this particular race, since turf will be over before the following race at Sam Houston goes off, I don't really like anything. I guess I'd lean towards the 7 as my top pick, but it is a little bit short at that price. First time. I mean, I understand the pedigree connections on the 10 and 11. The prices are enticing enough that if you like it, you can take a stab. But for me, first time starters going a route on the turf, marooned in the far outside post, that's just asking a little bit much for me to probably go there. If they beat me, they beat me. If you like them, you get paid. But I'm probably most inclined to use this 7 and 3.
I will say you guys wouldn't let me play Delta tonight, and it's been an absolute bomb factory.
Either you guys playing anything in this last one at Turfway?
The last one where?
Turfway?
Yeah, I have a 712 Exacta box for $2.
What'd you play, Mark?
712 Exacta box for $2.
I do not like a whole lot here. I had 7 appears to be the 2 favorites and the third choice. So I had the 1 down back when we thought Inside Speed might be good. But I'm not so sure I think that's the case anymore.
I think a lot of times with these tracks you run into the correlation isn't causation sort of thing, where just because you got 3 races that it happened that way doesn't mean that that's a bias.
I was a little interested in this 6, more than anything, just because Albin Jimenez gets up, and Michael Barrett's typically a strong trainer at these Ohio, second tier Kentucky, West Virginia tracks. So I don't know.
Isn't this 3rd tier?
Well, yeah. If you create 3 tiers, then so the 6 might be a horse that I try to work in somewhere. It does seem like there's enough speed to at least make it honest for a closer like the 6. But I don't know. The 6 is the only price horse out of the 3 that I like. I might keep 3 in an Exacta, but that's not really a bet that I like to make usually. We'll see.
I'm just betting these 10 and 11 horse rate just for $4. I don't really see any other. I mean, I think if I wanted to play an Exacta in here, I'd have to spend a lot more. And then I'm going to take my last $4 outside of that bet down to 12. Turfway rate. And I'm just hoping. I think the 12 is the best horse, and the 12's got drawn outside. Gonna get first run, and got any kind of speed race. So I think 12 is probably gonna be. Grab this one here, Turfway.
We're gonna get to Sam Houston before Turfway, right?
Yep.
Yes. My only play would have been the 7, but 3 to 1's too short, and
Agreed.
I don't know that I have enough of an opinion to really press the 7 with anybody else. I mean, the 7-3, I'm paying $38 for 2. I guess that's fair, but yeah, I don't think there's a way I can play this. I just don't. The prices I'm getting don't, match the strength of my opinions. So probably nothing for me here, but I would like the 7 best if I would play.
11's gonna take 8. But my 10's floating up. So I might get the best of both worlds here.
Yeah, your 11's getting slammed late, but again, the 10 is kind of drifting. Kind of.
Oh?
I still want to find out what the fuck happened to my microphone.
Oh, no. Oh, he's horizontal.
Post time
I'm a very weak man. So I reinvested because I tapped out
for live racing. The perfect
with
Samurai's
my
gone
garbage play last time.
Redbird's
So now
graduate.
I'm running a little
pool donation, Exacta, and Trifecta at Turfway. Actually, didn't even mean to hit this button, but yet here I am now.
I hear you guys saying, "Oh no, oh no." I'm like, "What happened?" And then you're talking about horizontals. I'm like, "Wait, who's playing a fucking horizontal right now?" And then it's because I was fucking looking at this.
Noble Order.
It's me, the perpetually horizontal.
How you feeling, big guy?
Johnny Longboat.
You know,
Willie Special Cats.
Like,
Sedona Sunset, Moolah Wild.
like my body hates me, but I'm making it. I'm gonna tough out a trip to the track tomorrow.
Sedona Sunset.
My pretty much whenever I leave the house for the last few months has either been to go to the doctor, or go to work.
Battleship Bevo.
And that's pretty much it. So I'm trying to go and like do something for myself tomorrow while my wife and kids are out of town.
Nice, man. Have fun.
Yeah, enjoy it, dude.
You going with Rowdy, or who are you going with?
I'm gonna meet up with Rowdy for a little bit while I'm down there, but my buddy Tim Stedman, he's one of my horse player friends here locally that good guy, really good handicapper.
And they're off. Step slow for
Whenever
I've
played simulcast with him, he is always the loudest person at simulcast, which is usually really fun. I call him Tim, loudest man at the OTB Stedman.
Judmont Silks' Noble Order, who finds a nice spot there.
But yeah,
at the
it's
rails behind that
we're doing
Bevo, who's dropping back just a touch.
got like a reservation at the Carousel Room, which is like their restaurant, but not like the jockey club. Like I don't have to go in and like khakis and my yacht club jacket or anything. So it'll be a fun time.
Redbirds graduates in third. The trip comes for Noble Order, who's right.
All right, I'm gonna unpress this button because I just realized how fucked up I look right now.
Sunset is trying to take that position now at the rail.
And you're wearing that terrible hoodie. That's the worst. Who would go out in public like that?
It's basketball season. We can have pride again. God damn it.
Noble Order has been tracking these pace setters.
Yeah, your basketball team's pretty terrible as well.
More room coming after this.
Oh wait, there's my 10.
Sedona Sunset following that move as well.
10 might have a little bit of run.
I can't tell which horse that is.
Here comes the challenge.
I think this two's got a rocket.
With the potato there.
Insta-famous. These are the top two at the top of the stretch. It is still Insta-famous to the inside, and Noble Order, who now kicks it into high gear. Running on late, TJB, Ura, Battleship Bevo, Willie Special Cats. Noble Order's taking the lead. Insta-famous tries to fight back. Sedona
and the two is going to be the winner after all. Union Rags.
You didn't talk enough shit about Union Rags.
And gets the win. Noble Order does it nicely. Later on there, Battleship Bevo
outside got
Insta-famous Willie Special Cats and TJB Ura to complete your Houston high five and 1 minute 39.7.
Yeah, the 10 looked like he was going to make a move, and then it looked like he just came up empty. He made the move too early, or he was too far back. And
all right. Well, I decided I'm going in a little until start. I'm going to run everything through this tour. The last race.
So am I, because I only got $4 left, so it's all going through.
Well, I don't have to run everything through it, but everything I play, I'm going to run through it.
About to run through the ZH Taylor here.
Yeah, right.
I did that earlier.
I'm going to see what the will pays are first.
Well, all I got left is a 7-12 exacta, or else I contributed the fund again.
Yeah, we're quickly approaching. We're going to be approaching some expensive assets. It's totally possible that we end up having a 4-way tie.
For last,
and just end up like buying a real bottle at Saratoga and
sounds like fun.
Just get wasted. Just get wasted on like Boss Hog or something in the fucking park at Saratoga.
Is Caleb gonna come visit Saratoga this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to plan. Well, if not, I'm in Louisiana. It's but I'm still gonna plan on it.
Cool. I'll have boxes for the meet, so if you guys want to come chill.
Nice, yeah. So I'm betting a 12 to win, and I'm gonna key box the 12 with the 6, 7, and 9.
Hill.
Yeah, that's
I really do
12
feel
to win and keyed with the 6, 7, 9.
I do feel real
3 to
good
1
about this
on
12.
TT.
I think that this 12's got both the best horse and has got the best post.
The ball
best,
face
like,
on a
run.
Kitten's Joy coming forward.
If I had more money, I would
In the
probably
fall.
try and be something better. But took a shot last race because I had slightly better.
No, look who's back.
Why did you mush me like that, Caleb? Why?
Oh my God.
Why would you mush me like that?
Yeah, no, I want us to be together.
Maybe that's what I need is some of that Caleb energy to take me across the finish line. That's
right.
All right. Well, if it loses, I'm done with you forever, Caleb.
Well, I mean, Mark says that every week, yet here we are.
That's true. That's true. All right.
Remember when we thought like week 3 this was going to be done?
To be fair, like we've been close. Like we've picked bets that hit. Well, some of us have picked bets that hit like for decent amounts. We just didn't bet them hard. Some of us were very close on like horizontals that would have paid pretty big. But yeah, you're right. It has not been what we thought.
Even further out as TT.
I would be super happy with a 12 or 9 exact.
I wouldn't.
I would be super unhappy if this 12 sits in the parking lot for too much longer.
Yeah,
Really?
This 12's just sitting 5 wide, dude. Fucking, dude, why are you looking behind? Who are you? Who you got the fucking horse in front of you, not the one behind you?
He's looking behind him like someone's.
Now Hickory Hill
He's gonna cut
5 wide and like.
As they race to the top of the home stretch.
Yeah, you better hope the
You
fucking
might
middle of the
wanna
track is good.
4-length lead. Here comes TT to the outside.
No,
Way
right,
out
tracking
wide
on
is
that
Bro. He's
9.
on the wrong lead, but he's
Here
running
comes
on
the wrong lead.
Oh, the fucking
He's
4. I thought that was the
Here
6.
comes Bro up on the outside.
On the fucking horse we all
Bro's
keyed
gonna
on the
win.
wrong
First Sammy
lead,
Bermudez
just
by
the
about 4.
fucking perfect
TT
way to
was
end
second, then
this.
came Private Spot for third, tight for fourth, either Great Arbor Key or Hickory Hill.
We got fucked by Bro.
Yeah, I looked at that horse and I'm like, I ain't betting a horse named Bro.
No, same. Who bets a horse named Bro?
Fuck. I was looking pretty good there for a minute when I saw 9 and 12 turning for home, and then I thought the 4 was the 6, and I'm like, well, shit, I have that. Fuck.
Did the 12 ever change leads? I think I'm still waiting for it.
Judges posting number 4, Bro, as the race winner. Second,
I mean, I got a hard time getting to that 4.
That's a really hard horse to get to.
The 12 never changed. It doesn't look like the 12 ever changed leads.
It kills me. Like the 4 has historically been a horse that's been more forwardly placed, but a lot slower, and all of a sudden becomes a closer outside. What?
Well, with another $15 going in, I think we're up to what were we? That makers.
I mean, we can't feel too bad. The pick 4 paid out 3 of 4, so.
Oh, really?
3 of 4 and the pick 4 paid $468.
Damn.
Well, your 9 fucked everything up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, even fucked you up because you didn't bet it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the pick 6 carried. Nobody had anything covered except for the 7 and 12. Would have been single ticket winner though.
Dude, you know what's gonna end up happening is we're gonna fucking go so long that Churchill's gonna start back up.
We're gonna be up to like a bottle of fucking Pappy.
It's gonna be like, hey, you guys. So the winner is gonna win a vertical or a horizontal of Weller Special Reserve, Weller 12, Weller Antique, Happy 10.
12, 11.
Winner gets like a 30% stake in Buffalo's Grace Distillery. Fuck.
Well,
bad night, boys.
Yeah. What you still? How much do you have left, Caleb?
I am at $18, so I'll probably re-up and add 5 to the bourbon fund because I don't want to be limited to $18 next week.
Yeah, that's not gonna do. So, Well, looks like we're gonna have another $20 added.
Into the winner's circle.
Jesus, $20.
Unofficial winner.
Another $20 added. So
final.
That's gonna be
Here is
we're at $100 now.
Leading in number
$100.
4.
So
We're starting to get into the nice bottle territory.
Nice bottle, or
out of the
honestly, 2 decent bottles.
Brink.
You know, bourbon. I think for about $60-$70.
The winner owned by Blanca Salazar.
Pretty good stuff.
Trained by Glenn Thomason.
But
smartly ridden by Jeff.
Yeah, this was gonna be a fun article to write. So we'll try. We're trying to be more diligent getting that stuff up on time. So I'll try to get it up by the end of the weekend, Monday at the latest, and then hopefully on Tuesday we'll have schedule of our week's kind of events coming up. We're gonna start mixing in with the Derby preps starting to pick back up. We're gonna be doing more previews and stuff like that. We'll try and keep you guys abreast of what's going on as we build up this ridiculous fund, astronomical number. But for Chase, bad back Chase over there, bad bet Mark, and I should have bet my 9 Caleb and fuck Zulu Alpha. I guess I'm in the lead on buy-ins, so I'm the biggest contributor to the Bourbon Fund. Josh.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Someone does. But catch you guys.